Hey there, NFL fans. Tom Downey here to break down the NFC playoff picture. Just the NFC side today because, well, the Steelers and Ravens are still trying to figure out that game. So we'll break it all down and where things stand in the playoff hunt as we begin December. The number one seed right now is the New Orleans Saints, and for the first time all year, we have a clinching scenario. Stay tuned for that one for the Saints later on. The Seahawks have taken over that number 2 seed. They have that over the Green Bay Packers thanks to strength of victory, so pretty far down the tiebreaker list. The Packers are the 3 seed right now. Shout out the New York Giants at 4-7. They're the 4 seed right now thanks to head-to-head win percentage over Washington. The Rams are 5. The Bucs are 6. The Cardinals are number 7, and then lurking still alive in the hunt in some capacity, the Vikings, Bears, and Niners for a wild card spot. And technically, Washington, Philadelphia, and Dallas are all alive in the lowly NFC East. Let's go team by team now, beginning with the current number 1 seed, the New Orleans Saints. And their path to securing a playoff spot is very simple. Just beat the Atlanta Falcons. That is all they have to do. Now, there is a scenario as well in which the Saints lose and the Bears, Vikings, Cardinals, and 49ers all lose as well. I don't think that's the most likely outcome, and it's a lot more convoluted than just going with, oh, the Saints win against the Falcons and they are in. But 9-2 right now, the Saints have won a whole bunch of games in a row. They are one of the hottest teams in the NFL, despite having some interesting play at quarterback. Now, the Saints might be the number 1 seed right now, which matters a little bit more because, as a reminder, only one team gets to bye, that number 1 seed. So who will make the Super Bowl out of the NFC? Is it the Saints, the Seahawks, the Packers, the Giants, or the Washington football team if you want to get insane with it? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I am going to make this the pinned comment on today's video, so scroll on down and get your votes in. Let's go to the current number 2 seed, the Seattle Seahawks. They took down the Eagles on Monday Night Football. Now they get the New York Giants this week, and yeah, the schedule starts to set up very nicely for Seattle. Carson Wentz was sacked 6 times. He was absolutely horrible. The game was a lot closer than the final, or wasn't as close, as the final score indicates. Seattle more or less dominated this particular matchup. Now they are 8-3, and thanks to the Rams coming off a loss, which we'll get to more in depth in a little bit, Seattle has taken back the top seed in the NFC West. The Rams are 2, the Cardinals are 3, and the Niners continue to lurk there at number 4. Now, the NFC West continues to beat up on each other pretty substantially. Maybe the most overrated team comes out of that division. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. No wrong answers. It's a safe space to answer. Who do you believe is the most overrated team in the NFC? Let's go to the Green Bay Packers now. They beat up on the Bears pretty easily, which also a game wasn't as close as the final score indicates. They get now the Philadelphia Eagles in Week 13. The Green Bay Packers are this close to securing a playoff spot with a win. They don't technically do it, but the path is if they win this week and then lose out, they have like a 2 or 3% chance of not making the postseason. So they're going to end up being a playoff team here when it's all said and done. Not technically going to clinch with a win against Philadelphia, but from a practicality standpoint, they might as well. The Philadelphia Eagles just look like they are in shambles right now. I got Green Bay winning pretty easily this week. The new number 4 seed, the New York Football Giants, after they escaped a game against the Bengals, who were starting a practice squad quarterback. Now, potential red flag here for New York. Daniel Jones a bit banged up right now. I don't think it's particularly likely that he's going to be out there for this game against Seattle, which means New York might drop this game, and then they might fall to 4-8. Maybe Washington can get back on track and take the number 1 seed, which they did briefly have in the NFC East when they took down the Dallas Cowboys. Philadelphia and Dallas are still very much alive as well because the division is absolutely terrible. This is the NFC East after all. So get your votes in, and I have waffled on this one a good dozen times as to who's actually going to win the division. It's been the Michael Scott snip, snap gif, if you will. C for the Cowboys, W for Washington, G for the Giants, or E for the Eagles. I think Washington is actually the best team, but that is a very low bar to clear because all of these teams are bad. There is not going to be a 500 division winner in the NFC East. Honestly, I think 6 wins is going to do it in the NFC East. We'll see what happens, but get your votes in. C for the Cowboys, W for Washington, E for the Eagles, or G for the Giants. Tell you what, the LA Rams, if they get the number 5 seed, they might not be too pleased with having to go on the road against a bad team. Although, you know what? Maybe you'd be better served getting the 5 seed and playing the 4 seed as opposed to being the 3 seed and playing a much better football team. The Rams, though, coming off a disappointing upset loss in which the offenses didn't look very good, and they have a critical matchup against Arizona coming up, which we'll get to more in depth here in a second. But a win this week for the LA Rams would go a massive way to helping secure a playoff spot. Now, if you guys want more NFL videos, maybe, say, an AFC Playoff Picture once that Ravens-Steelers game ends up getting played, or maybe a new NFL mock draft, I think those are things we enjoy. Hit that big red button and subscribe. That way you don't miss out. We're going to continue to have the latest NFL news and rumors for you guys. And you know what? Once the offseason gets here, we're not going anywhere either. So hit that big red button and subscribe. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the current number 6 seed, they're coming off another game. It says it was a 3-point loss to Kansas City. Didn't feel like a 3-point loss. Felt like a much bigger loss at the hands of the Kansas City Chiefs. Tom Brady has struggled the past couple games, by the way. 62%, 1,000 yards, and almost a 1-to-1 TD interception ratio. That's not what I think the Bucs are looking for. They got to get back on track in the near future. We have a deal alert for you guys as well. Head over to chatsports.com/NFL Monday. The Cyber Monday deal has been extended 50% off a ridiculous amount of items. And for all 32 NFL teams as well. They got a whole bunch of different t-shirt, hat combo packs, including both those beanies and the more normal, baseball, golf style hats. Head over to chatsports.com/NFL Monday. I will make sure that link gets put in the comments and in the description. That way you guys, all you have to do is click and go shop. So check it out today. It's not going to last forever. Get in while you guys still can. That is at chatsports.com/NFL Monday. All right, the current number 7 seed, the Arizona Cardinals, who are struggling. They have lost 3 of their last 4 games, including a painful one to the Patriots, in which Cam Newton had nothing going through the air, and they still lost that game. This is a massive matchup this weekend for the Arizona Cardinals. Against the LA Rams, if the Cardinals lose this game, they fall to 6-6. All of a sudden, they are teetering in terms of even being a playoff team. We thought they were going to be the Patriots. They did not. That might come back to haunt them. The Rams coming off a loss. This is an important game, and frankly, I think one of the most important games in the NFL this week. So get your votes in. Who do you have winning this one? Type LAR for the LA Rams, or you can type in ARI for the Arizona Cardinals. I think it's going to be a close game. I want to believe in Kyler Murray, but that Rams defense is really good. So make the decision for me. Get your votes in the comments section. All right, so I do want to mention those teams still in the hunt. Minnesota at 5-6. Man, if they had just beaten the Cowboys, they'd be right there in the mix, but I don't know if I trust them. The Bears are absolutely reeling, and I have zero faith in them whatsoever. Again, we mentioned Washington, Philadelphia, Dallas in the NFC East mix. The Niners, though, at 5-6 with an upset win over the LA Rams, put them right back in the hunt. Now, this game against Buffalo, not exactly what they're aiming for, and what also is going to be a home game for San Francisco in Arizona, because 2020 is just a complete cluster, folks. The Niners, though, even if they lose this game and fall to 5-7, they're going to have an opportunity. Because Washington, Cowboys, if we're being honest, both of those games should be wins for San Francisco. And then Arizona, Seattle, that Arizona game, if San Francisco wins it, that might just be enough for them to get into the postseason hunt and get back in the mix there. So it's going to be an interesting wild card race. Make sure you guys are subscribed because we will keep you covered every single week with the latest NFL playoff pictures.